Every ecom brand has competitors, but you're either up against giant corporations, hundreds of dropshippers selling the same product. If you're struggling to scale and you think you're doing better ads, you have better branding, or even a better product, those alone aren't enough to stand out if you're still saying the same things. I oversee over 1,000 ecom brands doing 7 to 9 figures each through our community, so we see what's actually working and the patterns that most people never get to see. In this video, I'm going to break down the 4 ways to stand out from your competitors without switching products so you can dominate the auction. Alright, so talking about sophisticated markets, we need to talk about market sophistication, a concept talked about by Eugene Schwartz. I'm not going to go in depth about this concept because I have a previous video talking about it already. In brief, there's 5 levels. Level 1 basically just means that someone, it's a new claim in the market. You're selling Ozempic GLP-1. It's out. You say it loses weight, miracle drug, it just works. It just sells really well. Competitors come in at level 2 already. They start saying ours is better by 10%. It helps you lose weight 10%. Level 3 basically is when new mechanisms come in. New mechanism as in it is a new thing. Oh, not ours not only is helps you lose weight, ours also makes your manhood bigger. Not sure if that's true, by the way. Great, people are going to buy yours now because yours is extra feature. It's a new mechanism. Level 4, they riff off your new mechanism. Oh, mine not only helps you lose weight better, mine makes your manhood bigger. Then it becomes too sophisticated where the only way you can stand out is through identity marketing, which is what most clothing brands are because everyone knows clothing is clothing. They just like to buy it because they like the brand. So that's a brief rundown of market sophistication. If you guys don't know what this means, again, watch the previous video. I go in depth with this theory. But there are 5 stages of market sophistication that I talked about. The higher the stages, the less bold promises work, and the more you need to rely on these mechanisms, education, audience, or emotional identity. And for most of us e-com marketers, we operate in stage 3 to 5 markets. Therefore, our strategies have to reflect that. Unless you're inventing Ozempic, most of the time you're selling something that already exists in the market. You're selling clothing, it exists already. You're selling vitamin D, exists already. First of all, why do we need to know about these methods? How do we actually stand out? Because realistically, in saturated markets, you must differentiate either via these 4 things. A new mechanism, new information, or new identity to break in and scale, because copying competitors will lead to failure. So the ads that won't scale or spend, Meta prioritizes novel offers, identical products get drowned out. If all of you guys selling beef hello are saying the same thing, and someone already is scaling big, but you're just getting started, you're saying the same thing as them, you're not going to get prioritized because someone has market share already. Same thing, even if you have a custom product, right, you made it yourself. If you're saying the same things as everyone else in the market, you're no better than these rippers. Because if it's already a saturated market, if you don't add anything new that delivers any new value to the crowd, like everyone does, you can never stand out from the competitors. And the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again, expecting things to change. These are the people that, people tell you, oh, this product is good to sell, you sell it. How do? You just look at what other people are doing and you copy them just because someone told you it's good to sell. You might scale a bit, but you never be able to do it long term or scale to huge numbers. So let's talk about how do we stand out in these sophisticated markets. Method 1 is through a new mechanism, which introduces a new process, technology, or a delivery system that makes familiar promises fresh and believable again. Let's say you're selling a Shilajit supplement. Shilajit, if you guys don't know, it's like a black syrup supplement thing. It was big like 1-2 years ago. Instead of changing it from like a syrup gum thing, they changed the method of consumption. They changed the mechanism, the process of taking it. They changed it into a gummy, claiming that the new method of consumption helps you take Shilajit more often and softens the bitter taste. It's it's a true case study because a lot of brands, when they shifted from doing Shilajit syrup to gummies, they unlocked a whole new market because they stood up from the competitors. And that if you remember market sophistication, the first few people who did it did great. Stage 4 comes, more people say the same thing, more people get into gummies, I see the same thing. It becomes more and more sophisticated already. More examples being Purple, mattress brand, huge one. I think they valued almost at $1 billion plus. So they have this feature called the Gel Flex Grid. Basically, it's a mattress brand that Instead of using your traditional foam, right, with visible demonstrable properties, coils, whatever it may be, purple mattress is literally like, let me look it up for you guys. It's like these ones where it's like hollow and it's purple, but it's like it doesn't look like a mattress at all. It doesn't look like your regular mattress like this. Like inside, I don't even know how to describe it to you. It's purple mattress. Another brand example, Seed Health. They have this patented system they call ViaCap. They claim that it ensures 95% of probiotic survival versus competitors 20%. The visuals looks like this, if you guys can see. It's basically, outside we have one layer, inside there's one layer. Okay, it's cool. Aura Ring, same thing. They developed a new way for users to achieve their fitness and health goals. Instead of you wearing an Apple Watch, it's a ring now. The thing is like, all of these new mechanisms pretty much do the same thing. The mattress is still a mattress, but it's a new way of mattress. This one, okay, you can take your probiotics multiple ways, but here's a new way of taking it. Same thing, Aura Ring, instead of Apple Watch, it's a new way of achieving the same thing. It's new. The why people want new is the same thing like going to the gym. Everyone knows they need to go to the gym to lose weight. But how come every time new weight loss product drops, it always sells well, especially when it's new? Because they know the thing doesn't work already. They tried it, it's not working for them. But they want a new idea. They want new hope that this new product works. Oh, I tried the gym. It was hard. I know that it works, but maybe there's an easier way. There's a better way I can do it. New mechanism, new product, does the same thing. That's why new mechanism works stand out in the market. You can have a product that is better than competitors, but how is it better? You improve it 10%. What does that 10% mean? Ingredients, you put extra 10% inside. What does that actually do in terms of the mechanism? Are you more clinically dosed? Maybe that can be your mechanism, that can be your claim. How can you then prove they're clinically dosed? What can you do with the mechanism? Maybe that is introducing lab test reports into every single batch. Maybe that is getting NSF certification on the product label itself and using that in your marketing. That can be a new mechanism too. Mistakes. You claim false uniqueness for industry standards, especially when your prospects are product aware, which will have inverse effects damaging your brand. You can't just make shit new just for the sake of making shit new. If something is working already, but you make it new just because you want to stand out, but actually it's worse, especially for people who are already sophisticated in the market, it's going to damage your brand. So, for example, you guys may have seen like the GLP-1 patches. Everyone obviously knows that Ozempic works. There are some people who come out with these GLP-1 patches that claim that if you stick it on, instead of injecting yourself with it, it helps you lose weight. It worked to a certain point. Now people are getting more product aware, more sophisticated. They understand that one, those patches actually don't have GLP-1. It's a scam. Two, applying it as a patch is less effective than injecting it, which is why those products sold for a short while. Now they don't really do that well anymore. False uniqueness. Another common fault most operators face is to get too technical in their messaging, getting too deep into the data or over-explaining mechanisms, uniqueness without tying the messaging back to the customer's value. If you create like a new tech product or a new supplement and you tell me, 10% more magnesium, 10% more vitamin C, whatever it may be, like that's cool, bro, but like what does it do for me? The mechanism, whether it's a new one or old one, is only the way we justify our messaging. If you do not first be relatable to your customers, it doesn't matter how new or how innovative your product is, they don't care, right? You need to make sure that you're not just explaining like facts, this is what. You need to make sure that whatever you're saying actually conveys the benefit to them. It's a very common mistake people make, especially male brand founders that aren't able to convey their messaging through emotion. They keep telling you facts, but actually of course, you know a lot about your product, you know a lot about the niche. That doesn't necessarily mean that your customers do. They just want a product that works. They don't care about 10% more magnesium. It depends on the avatar, of course. So that's new mechanism. That's one method alone. We've got more to go through. Second one is new information. New information, I would also say it can be new positioning. So this strategy relies on positioning, keyword, your brand as a trusted authority who educates the market, and in return, customers reward you with trust, attention, and most importantly, sales. Why it works, example, we have this Daily Derm over here. It's a YouTube channel that talks about skincare stuff, but it's created by CeraVe, which is this If you guys don't know, CeraVe, massive skincare brand. I use it myself. So why does this work? It's because education builds authority. Skeptical buyers listen. People support brands that give genuine value. And it's also promote awareness because you teach uncovers problems the customers didn't know they had, which creates demand. A separate tangent here, okay? Hypothetically, if you wanted to sell a brand for huge amounts, like 100 million or 1 billion, you are going to need a super amazing product like Ozempic, if you can create that, or you can have insane distribution on a very boring product. Why do I say that? If you look at Kim Kardashian, the Kardashian family, right? They have Skims, they have, I don't know what other brands they have. A lot of brands. Rihanna has a very popular, it's called Fenty Beauty, huge brand as well. Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber's, I think, wife now, exited, I think it's called Rode, for $1 billion selling skincare. How do they do that in the first place? Because they have distribution, because they have an audience that wants to listen to them. They can sell the most basic, boring products. People will buy them, which is why you see every celebrity out right now suddenly comes out with a new product because they have an audience that people want to buy from them. It's what you can do as well. It doesn't matter if you're trying to dropship or what. It's something that is good to know because it's one very, very good method of how you can actually stand out from your competitors as well. Even myself, when I'm buying products, I like to do my research, whether that's through Cloud or YouTube. If I see someone recommend it a lot, because whatever reason, I'm going to buy that on YouTube. Same thing for your products, right? You can do the same thing. Good examples. AG1, they invested $5 million in clinical studies, created comprehensive educational content about 75 ingredients, and built a 600 plus billion business through science-first positioning. I'm pretty sure these guys are valued over $1 billion now. That even is a next step to this. How can you take this to the next level? If you guys don't know, there's a competitor called IM8. Basically, it's David Beckham's brand, which combines a few things, okay? Distribution on celebrity, audience exists, plus they have more science claims. Like they say, oh, this is my board of science people, here's all my science shit, then you can read every single thing. Like they have a lot of clinical studies out as well. I won't bore you to death. Like that's how, talking about sophistication levels and new mechanism, that's exactly what they did. They just made it better. They published everything. That's how IM8 is dominating right now. Next example is The Ordinary. Ordinary is like a skincare brand. So they disrupted luxury skincare through radical ingredient transparency, naming products after active ingredients with concentrations. Like literally, this is their packaging. Look at CeraVe and look at Ordinary. It literally just looks very, what's the word for it? Very transparent. So they educate people, they have content around it as well. They are positioning, based on their branding alone, is that they are the most transparent in the market. Again, we talk about this new information, but this is just how you choose to position your brand. If you want to be seen as the authority, you need to create content to be like the authority. Same thing with the IM8, for example. They want to be seen as the best, the most educational, the most transparent. You want to reach these customers that don't even know about you yet. Because we're not talking about paid ads here, we're talking about scaling Ecom brand holistically. That's what IM8 is doing. They position themselves with Beckham, associate themselves there. They have all these science guys, content talking about them. They position themselves as like the most science-based multivitamin brand. Ritual Vitamins, same thing. They provide complete supply chain transparency with interactive ingredient maps showing exact source locations. So common mistakes with this is that for you to actually position your brand well, it requires real expertise in subject, as the prospects who are in these higher level markets are already skeptical and are most likely knowledgeable or have tried other products. Surface level education or promo heavy content kills credibility. You need serious brands that invest heavily into research to sound convincing, because today's customers are well informed and the information must meet their standards. A big reason why every brand that exists for huge amounts, like 9 figures or above, in CPG at least, which means consumables, health stuff, all needs to have their own clinical studies, because that's what makes the brand compliant. Compliance is one thing, Well, like the IM8 example, they position themselves. It costs them like over 10 million to do this, by the way. I'm not saying that all of you can do this right away. I'm saying this is one method people use. You don't need to spend 10 million plus to develop your product, to get science guys to do all these experiments. It can just be you diving deep into the product and just talking to the camera every single day about your brand, telling people your product, because you dove so deep into it, you're expert now. It can just be that, honestly. Next method, new identity / new avatar. You are positioning your brand as a certain identity, you're targeting a certain avatar. Customers want to redefine what using the product says about the customer, which appeals to the core human need of belonging, targeting on the emotion side of purchase intent instead of rational. Because most of us purchase emotionally instead of rationally. Good examples, best one, Liquid Death, worth over $1 billion, selling freaking water. You guys already know what Liquid Death is, how they work. Literally, it's just like canned water, new brand, new avatar. That's literally how they build a brand. You can sell the same thing as everyone else, or you can target someone else. You can sell the same thing as everyone, or you can have new information out in the market to position yourself differently. There's two methods to talk about, plus new mechanism just means selling something new. Not new entirely as a new product, but new features or new processes within the product. Glossier, same thing as well. You built the empire around skin first, makeup second philosophy. Glossier is just like a makeup brand. So everyone says makeup first or whatever. They targeted a new avatar where makeup doesn't help your skin. It makes you look better, but your breakouts are still there. Target new underserved avatar, that's what they did. Peloton, same thing. Instead of you getting yelled at in the gym by your instructor, they transform something as simple as exercise equipment into status symbols. They've got celebrity instructors and competitive communities within it to target this new niche avatar that they found. Common mistakes. Inauthentic positioning will feel fake and end up alienating audiences. This means it's when you see those brands try to appeal and use memes to target younger generation. You just tell they don't know what they're doing. Same thing here. If you're trying to sell to people that you don't even care about or in a niche you don't care about in the first place, it's probably not a good idea. If you attempt to appeal everyone also, you want to appeal to young kids, old moms, your grandma, it doesn't work well. You gotta pick your lane. And brands that use this strategy must stay congruent and true to their values. What this means is that your whole brand should target a certain amount of people, a certain amount of avatar. It's also a good thing because Liquid Death targets this punk aesthetic. Wait, let me guys show you, sorry. So I'm not sure if you guys know the trend about the 6-7 thing. This is 6-7 water. End of day, man, product is freaking water for all of them. But they're targeting an underserved avatar. These new Gen Alpha kids who go on TikTok doing these 6-7 trends, right? They're not punk people anymore. They just targeted them instead. And all the messaging throughout the content, the product itself, the emails, all have messaging that speaks towards this exact avatar, the Gen Alphas. It's not that content is Gen Alpha, then email is punk rock. All same. Because you want to understand your customer better than they understand themselves. Gotta speak like them, think like them, everything should be congruent. 6-7 water, crazy story. Now we're getting a bit on the confusing side of things. There is new identities and there's new avatars. A new identity is like water, where both audiences already know about water. Obviously, everyone knows about water, right? You're just targeting a different identity. But when we talk about underserved avatars, we're talking about people who have never seen the product before. Stanley Cups is the great one. Stanley Cups were made for construction workers. What's the underserved avatar? TikTok girlies, apparently. They pivoted the entire new market. Same product, totally different market that has never seen this product before. Same thing, Bro Glow. Women used to like these tanning products, but that's not for men. Never been. Water-based, non-greasy, self-tanner, designed for men with pale legs. So only difference is just identity is when people already know about the product. Both avatars know about the product already. Liquid Death, if I was a Gen Alpha, I wouldn't care about Liquid Death. I know water, same thing. So common mistakes with this underserved avatar is that similar to finding mistakes in finding avatars, shallow research with broad demographics and ignoring deep desires. Congruency across the funnel must be consistent. Follow the rule of one unless you want to tank your conversion rates. So very similar to identity, the messaging across everything needs to be very congruent. And Underserved avatar is same thing. When you target new people, you need to understand everything A to Z, how they think, how they speak. It's what you do. So these are the 4 strategies, 3.5 you put it, of how you actually want to stand out. With these 4 methods in mind, you are now more equipped than 90% of the people doing ecom, especially those copy-paste job shippers and killer data rippers. If you guys want more guidance or coaching in ecom, we do run an elite consulting community called Evolve Inside with over 600 active members, all doing anywhere from 100K per month, some doing 20 to 30 million a month. If you want the full playbook on creating winning ads and offers, we have hours and hours of training modules inside our community already, because we update these modules a few times a month with the latest strategies that we use. We'll be in there daily answering questions, breaking down what's working right now, and helping members troubleshoot whatever is holding them back. If that's something you benefit from, the link is down below. And once again, remember to take action.